Hi, Alvin Olsen for Sea-Doo Adventures New Zealand. Today I'm at Lake Moana, or Lake Brunner. They're both known as the same name, here on the west coast, the South Island of New Zealand. The lake is currently a little bit full from the recent flooding, but my plan this evening is to go down the outlet of the lake, just down about 4 or 5 miles here, and have a look at all that native timber that's along the side there. It's a lovely scenic drive down the water. The milling that occurred here in the middle of last century, some of the Maori history here. So here we've got a pay and display arrangement here, coins in there, $5 for 24 hours. So because I'll be long gone from the lake by 5 p.m. tomorrow, I've got my ticket and thrown on there, and that saves me mucking around with it. Just lift her into the drink here. Scoot her out in the middle a bit so we're into deeper water. Hook up the lanyard here. That's if I fall off, the little engine will stop and I can swim back to the boat. Go through a checks now there. Tank's full. VHS up. Let's put it down. Chug ahead. Forward. Do you see the little forward button there? Forward. So I've got it on sonar here, and we've got 5 meters under me at the moment. So this is the mouth of the Arnold River here. We've got a swinging bridge that's normally well clear of the water, but we've just got to go careful to get it. I think we're going to make it. Let's see. Had to get off the seat to do that. .7 meters underneath me now. So I've come down as far as I can go. That's the road bridge and the rail bridge there on the Arnold River. And I don't think I can get under the second one. So I'll just head back upstream a bit now. It says we're doing 22, but it doesn't feel like that because of the speed of the river. There is the main highway. This is what I have to watch out for. Here's a log that's been washed out up further and come out into the waterway. Or bungy. This one here is a white pine, or the Maori name like it here. The big one here that I'm pointing to now is a rimu, or a red pine. White pine, this one. Kamahi here, all this one. Over the other side, these straggly looking ones here and here, they're Pinus radiata, some old ones here. They've never been looked after. They're just scungy old trees put in there and never looked after. This little stand of trees here is white pine. They're able to grow with wet feet. They don't mind growing in the edges of rivers and things. This plant here is a flax. This is a stand of native timber. It's been left, it's never been milled. This one here is a remu tree, white pine, some more remus in the back there. Just lovely being here on some evening to have a look at all this. This one here is a white pine, nice straight butt. The timber from the white pine was used in butter boxes and things. It doesn't taint. Coming up to the swing bridge again. I've got to duck down to get in under this one. Take my head off if I'm not careful. There's wires supporting it coming back on the angle either side to stop it swinging too much. So I'm best to go at it from the dead centre. I don't know whether you can see them, but there's ropes right across here holding the, oh there they go, you can see them there now, right through there, holding the bridge from swinging in the breeze. There's the line there. That would take my head clean off if I wasn't careful. I can see the lowest part of the bridge is where I come in under there with those bolts hanging down, but I'm going to sneak across here a bit and duck down under these wires as I go through. Here's the first one. Clear that one. Under the bridge we go. Clear that one. One more wire to take my head off and clear that one. So that's 3. This tree hanging out here is a remu tree, as of these fellas here, and this one here. Now when I was here looking for the logs in the lake with my friend Ray Thomas, there's one underneath us here directly down. There's 9 metres down here underneath me at the moment. We may pick him up on the sonar here. He was covered in minnows and fishing line from people casting out here and then getting hooked up in the hooking up their hooks and see if we can find it. So this is the township of Moana. The railway line runs through here. That's the main railway line through between the west coast and across to Canterbury. It's quite a busy line there because they take all the coal and timber. And so that was a little just a warm up for tomorrow's trip out on the lake. We plan to go out around over the other side there. There's a bay around there called Tikinga, Ivy Bay. And that's where the mill was. And if I point away back down here, you may not see it in the sunlight, but way in the distance there is where the logs were cut from the forest and taken right across the lake like so to Tikinga, a long way. Now as you can see, this is a big lake here, and sometimes the wind comes up with a slow old tugboat dragging the boats across the water there. That would mean that some of them would break away and float off lost. Well, a beautiful clear Sunday morning here on Lake Moana, or Lake Brunner as we know it as well. I'm just waiting for my friend Trevor Johnson to turn up. Won't be far away. I've got the little boat in behind there, and there's a mist around the lake there that's just starting to rise now. So I'm hopefully by the time we're on the water she'll be all clear and make for some spectacular scenery. So come along for a ride this morning and we'll tell you a little bit about Lake Moana. I've met Pete Denzi here on the foreshore of Moana, and he's a local. They've been here in Moana for many years, and he's going to tell me about Refuge Island out there.
When my great-great-grandparents arrived in Moana, they were the first white people in Moana. And when they came here, the Maoris were living on the island.
Right.
Now, when I grew up as a kid, there was canoes and all that around the edge of the lake here. And over there, when I was probably 7 or 8, there were skulls on the beach.
That's right.
And what happened is the Maoris actually ate the Maoris.
Oh.
They actually ate them.
Cannibalised, eh? Yeah.
And they killed them over there.
Yes.
And the skulls, when I was a kid, only 7 or 8, they actually, you can see the skulls and the bones and that all on the beach.
Wow.
All on the beach. And there was canoes and everything all laying in the water here. They were all abandoned, of course. Yes. Laying in the water.
So is it a sacred site that you're allowed to land on it? No, it's not none of that sort of thing.
No.
So you have been able to go out there and have
a
look?
Yeah.
So there was definitely a massacre there and cannibalism, and
yeah, they ate a few of them.
And where was the past site? Do you know where that was?
That was round the other side.
As I go round and into Takinga, around Ivy Bay there.
Yeah.
I'll see it there somehow or other.
Should with a bit of luck. Yeah.
Hey. This little bay here is Cashmere Bay, a little spot here where people have got their holiday accommodation. People from Christchurch and all around come here for water skiing, recreation, hunting and fishing. This piece of foreshore here is roughly where the Takinga sawmill was. Now Ray Thomas will be able to tell me the name of it, but there was a big slipway here by this fence that I'm pointing to just now. And sometimes when they're pulling logs up to the mill, they'd break free, and of course down they'd come, and so they're in under this water here. About over 40 or 50 of them that I counted scuba diving. So this is the pontoon that my friend Ray Thomas had as part of the salvage operation. A simple pontoon to pull the logs up alongside underneath and then head them back over towards shore where he could lift them clear. He could easily cut timber for it, that's for sure. So these are white pine. They're currently underwater, but they're the white pine are okay up against damp areas and riverbeds and things like that. Recently the Department of Conservation have removed all the willow trees. See that one there with a shag on it? That's a willow tree there. It's in its last few years of life standing up. Eventually they'll break down and fall away. There's a few obstacles here in the lake that you have to watch out for.
Looks like a piece of, probably a bit straight for willow, more like a piece of kahikatea.
Way in the distance there is the other foreshore there where the forestry was taken down, snigged to the edge of the lake and then attached to a barge and dragged all this distance across. On the map here that would be 5 kilometres across there. Now what happens is out of this valley here is the big strong winds come there from over the Alps or around this side here and get big waves up, and that causes the logs to detach from the barge and they become free-floating logs like that one we just showed you. Only much bigger, and sometimes even rafts.